My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
I hope you can hear the birds chirping out there. They're really loud. I think that's maybe a cardinal. It sounds like a cardinal. Anyway, maybe it's coming through. Maybe it's not. I don't know. So I'm going to do a quick one here on a quote from Marcus Aurelius. And where this has been said multiple times, multiple ways through history. Anyway, he says, the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape, finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. I find that kind of funny. Because when I look around at, shall we say, normal people, I often find myself, my other computer's beeping at me here. Give me 1 second. I often find myself in the ranks of what I would consider to be the insane. Not purposefully, but just, I look at when the masses move one direction or the other, and when I see that, I start to really question why. What's leading them that direction? And I often feel like, they're lambs being led to the slaughter, or they're lemmings that are heading to the cliff in order to jump off into the sea. I remember a lot of Native Americans used to have these locations that were called jumps, and they would herd animals to those jumps, oftentimes using fire, whatever, in order to get as many animals to jump off the cliff as possible. And then they would go down and they would harvest the best cuts of those animals. They would keep those pieces and parts that had lots of fat, the internal organs which had lots of vitamins. Of course, they would normally keep the hides and the horns, because those were useful for different things. And then oftentimes the lean meat of a bison would be left behind to rot, because it just did not have the calories worthwhile in order to harvest it. So when you think about that, you wonder about human beings being herded by the media in one direction or another. And I worry about jumping off the cliff, and so try as best as I can to head in the opposite direction. Like Mark Twain said, I would never be a member of I would never join an organization that would have me as a member. something to that effect. And I'm kind of the same way. There are a few organizations that I have joined in the past that I've gotten much out of. And I would sit there and chafe at the pomp and circumstance of the rituals that an organization goes through, and then the things that they expected the members to do, follow, and just blindly accept. And that's difficult for me. And I don't, and I won't. Probably why I'm such a pain in the ass, right? Anyway. When you find yourself in the ranks of the quote-unquote insane, it means that you've actually thought through things for yourself and not allowed anybody else to dictate what it is that you think and believe. And that happens to me all the time. I was attending church a couple weeks ago, and the priest up at the front was using a passage, and which I knew very well, and I just wanted to tell the people around me, he's misinterpreting what he is seeing and what he is saying. I did not do that, but man, I wanted to. Anyway, I guess I'll leave it there. I looked around though when I was sitting, and I'm like, does anybody else realize that this guy's way off base? And they just were looking towards the front, and they were taking it in, and they were believing, and they were sheep. It's frustrating. And other people have asked me, Tom, why do you attend services and then sit there and critique? Because I have approached the minister, pastor, priest, whatever, depending on where I am and what services I'm attending, and had a discussion once everybody else had left, and talked about how it was misinterpreted and ill-used. Sometimes I've gotten them to accomplish a retraction. And it's not that I'm trying to be obtuse or think that I'm more knowledgeable than anyone else. But I will not follow blindly, and I will not suffer those that expect others to follow blindly. It's funny because if I'm walking up to one of them after a service and they see me coming, they just get this look on their face like, oh goodness. But if if being outside the majority is considered insanity, I guess I am insane. In a good way. I hope that you are too. And I guess I'll leave it at that. All right. I'll chat with you later. Bye.